the game, cause see the boxing voice.
Welcome back, gang, for the first time and hopefully many more to come. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notifications right here, this little bell, so you can get those emails every time we go live.
Google her if you think I'm lying. Google her if you think I'm lying. She's like, holy
That
shit.
knockout is crazy.
Murder.
I know what you're talking about.
Murder. You know what I'm talking about. She was like 6'5", the light-skinned chick. And with the jab, had game.
Noah,
Like, it was like, oh, man.
I'm going to get back to you, baby. It's that time. We have the trainer and manager of Deontay Wilder on the line. So let's get this done.
Day. It is day.
Jay, how's it going, my friend? Thank you for taking out the time to come here on the Boxing Voice one more time. We just finished talking to Lou DiBella, and yeah, we're just wondering, I mean, how's your New Year's? Happy New Year's.
Everything's good, man. Just ready to see what 2019 will bring. We're ready to go.
What's on your wish list?
Fury rematch and unification.
Is that the order?
I think so. If I had to guess, I know they're still talking to a lot of different people and things are kind of going in a lot of different directions. But as far as me, I would like to get the Tyson Fury rematch and then look to see whatever the other biggest fights are out there. You know, Deontay Wilder was in the two biggest heavyweight fights of 2018 against Ortiz and against Fury. And Deontay Wilder was in the two fights of the year, definitely heavyweight fights of the year, both of them candidates for fights of the year across the board. So you're looking at the guy that's fighting the best competition and is also producing the most exciting fight in Deontay Wilder.
Jay,
So are you feeling like most boxing fans, like, I don't know, Fury side is either getting cold feet or lobbying to see what exists with the Anthony Joshua Eddie Hearn side?
I don't think so. I don't know I wasn't able to hear what Lou was saying, but from my perspective, we've got a good history with the Fury people. We were both very straightforward and honest. We didn't play it out in the media and back and forth it in the media like other people tend to do and play games and all that. It was just a great deal and an easy deal to put together. And the product was there. It was a great fight for the fans. So as far as I'm concerned, I think it's just an easy thing to put them back together. And I think that it's the fans want to see a resolution to this fight, and that's what the rematch will give them. So for my money, that's the way we should go.
hey Jay, Mario Mugia here. I want to take it back real quick because you said that Fury, Joshua in that order. Obviously, that's the perception that everybody else has too. But from your point of view, is it because public opinion has gone to the Fury side and a lot of people believe he won? Is it because you think that you saw something in the fight that could help Deontay put him out a little easier? Is it because that 12th round where y'all were just narrowly there and some people say that he should have been counted out? Like, what's the reason that Fury has topped that list?
Well, that's a good question. I think that for me personally, it's just a very intriguing fight. And I think that if you look at it and break it down, Deontay Wilder scored 2 knockdowns in the final 4 rounds. One arguably could have and should have been the fight ender. So if you look at that, you've got to figure that Deontay, he was figuring things out. His body was figuring things out. The biomechanics were figuring things out for him to produce 2 knockdowns in the final 4 rounds. So I definitely like the rematch for a variety of reasons. Number one, because I think it's the easiest fight to make. Number two, the fans want it and deserve it. And number three, I just like I like the fight for Deontay. I always have. Now Fury is a tremendous fighter, and I thought Deontay won the fight. Fury's people thought he won the fight. It's right for a rematch. But Tyson Fury's never going to be easy for anybody. He's very good at what he does, and you have to be at your best to beat him. But I feel like Deontay beat him the first time, and I feel like Deontay will beat him even more conclusively the second time.
Hey Jay, Mike here. Recently, Frank Warren came out and he had a proposed deal for a Sky and BT pay-per-view with Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. What's your first reaction to this, and do you think that they will like possibly go that route?
I don't know much about that as far as I heard it, but I didn't see all the details of exactly what the proposal was, except it seemed to me like it was just something that Frank came up with as a possibility, as a possible solution to the problem of multiple, fighters aligned with multiple networks, which is always could be a problem. So it didn't really seem like it was a two-way street. It wasn't like he and Eddie were on the same page. It was just him saying, if we're going to do this, this is a way it could be done. So I don't really think that that's going to happen. I don't think they'll go that direction. I think that Fury's people will come to the same conclusion that we've come to. I mean, do you want to play a lot of games and do this thing in the media, or do you want to sit down and realistically hammer it out in an hour, which is what we brought to the table last time, and it's what we'll bring to the table this time.
Hey, this is Ron Goodall. So I just want to clarify: has the negotiations been harder this time? Because it seemed like you said like earlier it was just very easy, but now since the draw came up, Fury has got the public perception, maybe other options. Is now this a harder negotiation than you would assume than last time?
No, I don't think it's harder. It's just a matter of putting the pieces together. You have to, number one, you have to determine when both fighters can adequately prepare and be ready, and then you have to find a venue that's available on that certain date, which matches up with pay-per-view availability, network availability, and then so on. So it's really a matter of putting pieces together, and of course, several venues want the event, so that comes into play as well. You have to kind of listen to what everybody brings to the table. Is it going to be in New York? Is it going to be in Vegas? Back in Los Angeles? Is it going to be Dallas Stadium? Is it going to be overseas? Manchester? Is it going to be London? So you have to talk to a little bit of everybody, find out what everybody can do, and then what dates are available for everybody, and match them with the network and go from there. So it's a little more complicated than probably people realize, but all that is part of it, and we've done all that kind of thing before, and so we'll succeed in putting it together again. So I don't see it as more problematic than the last time. It's just a lot of pieces to put together.
Jay, ideally, when would you like to make an announcement, and when would you prefer the fight to be? We know Espinoza didn't want what Wilder wanted. Wilder wanted immediately April, May, should I say March, April, and Espinoza's thinking no, May, June. What does Jay Deas feel his fighter needs for recovery and to put together the new game plan for this version of Fury?
Well, I think, to answer your question in reverse order, I think obviously we'd want the fight before we announce. I would want to make sure we're locked down on everything before we announce anything. But March Madness is obviously something that could be, competition that maybe could draw some eyes away from what we're doing. So I think that's probably Steven's thought process. is that March is typically not a great month for pay-per-views, and so my guess would be late April, early May. I would actually love to see us take that Cinco de Mayo date that was such a big date for boxing, whether it's been Floyd or whether it's been Canelo. I don't know if that's been allocated to anyone, but if not, I think it'd be a great date for Wilder and Fury. And then you find, because it's Cinco de Mayo, you find just a tremendous undercard fight that would involve a fighter from Mexico, and you could have quite an international fight night right there. So that would be my preference, late April to early May.
Jay, let me ask you a question. There have been rumors circulating around, because you mentioned obviously different venues and different things. Obviously, AT&T Stadium, Cowboy Stadium, whatever you want to call it, has become a big attraction now for boxing, and the owner, Jerry Jones, has had a lot of interest in big fighters, big American fighters, and Deontay certainly tops that list in terms of big American fighters. Are there any truths to the whispers that there is a Texas fight in the works, or are there possible a potential showdown sometime for him in Texas, maybe Cowboy Stadium, AT&T Stadium?
Oh, I would love that. From what I understand, is a beautiful facility, and Jerry Jones tends to get what he wants, and he's a huge boxing fan, and he has the sponsors and the resources and the financial backing to do just about anything he wants to do. So I haven't heard that as a probable or anything, but I've heard that there is some interest. So we'll kind of have to see where that's going, and how realistic that interest is, and we'll take it from there.
Have any other outside factors, not the UK, not the United States, made a big push to get this fight in one of their countries?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a big push. I think there are some countries that kind of want to do what Manila did with Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, and then what back then.
When you say Manila, are you referring to the? Are you referring to Africa?
Yeah, this is what now is the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Back then was what they called Zaire. Rumble in the Jungle, Ali and Foreman. So yeah, there are countries that have come and expressed some interest. I don't know how realistic they are, and I don't know if it's possible or not. But Deontay's a world champion, and he's never had a problem fighting anywhere. He's as an amateur fought in Argentina, China, Russia. In the pros, he's fought in Mexico, Puerto Rico, the UK, and was going to fight in Russia as a pro. So Deontay will go anywhere. He's never had a problem traveling. He's a world champion. He's not just relegated his entire career to his backyard. Like to me, if you're a world champion, you got to be a world champion.
Hey, Jay, this is Ron Goodall. So, historical dates every year. Floyd Mayweather recently had it. Canelo, Cinco de Mayo. Is that a date you guys are trying to look at, compete, maybe take? You guys are the heavyweights, the big boxing. You guys want Cinco de Mayo weekend? Is that something that's an option?
Yeah, I would love that weekend. Just like we mentioned earlier, I think that if you had that, and you had Wilder from the U.S. and you had Fury from the UK, and then you found just a fantastic undercard fight involving a fighter from Mexico, you could tie it all in and really make Cinco de Mayo card into something special. If I'm not mistaken, the Saturday is actually the 4th, if I've got my dates right. Would be
yes.
Cinco de Mayo weekend would be the Saturday would be the 4th, and that would be ideal time wise to get ready and promote and do all the things you have to do. So as far as that, we would definitely be ready.
It sounds like you were already been looking at, because you know that date so well off the top of your head. The 4th, Saturday. You guys are looking at it, right?
Well, I look at every day, but I can tell you most days and what days they fall on. If it comes around fight time, I kind of look at every possibility, because I have I kind of chart out the entire camp, and I do that, so that I know exactly when we would start, and what days would be sparring days and non-sparring days and so on. So I've always, kind of done that. So that's just me more than anything.
Jay, is that Cinco de Mayo date more of a realistic plan for this particular year? Is now the time to strike? Is this something that we should seriously be talking with Al Heyman and Team Wilder, due to the fact that Canelo, if any time was ever the right time, it's now, that he doesn't have a recognizable network to push his Cinco de Mayo normal date? A big network, a Fox, a Showtime could slide in there. The general public could know about heavyweights fighting on that date much quicker than the middleweight that no one knew fought in December on the 15th.
Oh, I definitely think we would be the biggest show in town, and we would, you can't, there's no fight that would be bigger on that date that's viable for everybody to make it. And that's exactly right. It would be a great time to establish that date. New sheriff in town, and his name is Deontay Wilder.
Would you compete? Because we've seen Canelo be contested on that date with Sergio Martinez and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. before.
I don't know. That's really more of a network concern than it would be us. We're ready to fight on any date, but you do have to realize that a network would probably have to look at all their options and see if they wanted to compete with anything. There's a reason why when there's 2 NFL playoff games on a Saturday or a Sunday, there's a reason why one of them's at noon and the other one's at 3. They don't go head to head, because why would you split your audience in any way, form, or fashion? So I do understand that logic. But as far as we're concerned, we'd be ready. But I'm not sure that Showtime would want to compete directly with anything else. They didn't have to.
Now, Jay, one thing that we've discussed on this show a lot lately is the other heavyweights. And I don't want to do them disrespect like they're the other heavyweights, because guys like White, Big Baby, they've certainly made a case to deserve fights. Ortiz on the Joshua side. But the one thing that Lou said was that if the Fury fight doesn't come through, he'd be interested in Brazil. Like, Brazil's out there kind of just throwing it out, like, take care of the mandatory. But don't you think it would be better for Deontay to start the year off if he were to go elsewhere and maybe wait on the Brazil fight until it was mandated and ordered? I mean, the Brazil fight is not mandated and ordered. So why take that Brazil fight if it's not mandated and ordered?
Well, it really depends on what other fight you would be talking about. If obviously the Fury fight, in my opinion, is the priority. But if that, for whatever reason, is not going to happen, and there's nothing that's bigger or as big out there, then you do have to look at going ahead and doing the mandatory, and then moving forward from there. There is some intrigue into that mandatory, because there's some personal history between Dominic Brazil and Deontay Wilder. So there's certainly, it's not your normal mandatory where you've never heard of the challenger and he's from, someplace and nobody really knows him. I mean, this is a very interesting personal thing with Deontay and Dominic. So that wouldn't be your normal mandatory.
You said if you can't get the Fury fight, you will try to go with something else big. Is a Dillian White fight over in the UK a big enough fight to draw you guys over there?
I don't know. I'd have to see what they're talking about. Having dealt, the last time, I just, all I want is just a straight straight up deal conversation, and we'll see what the numbers are, and we'll see if that's the thing to do. If I mean, we don't have any problem at all fighting Dylan White anywhere. So if that's the best option, that's the best option. But I just want to the negotiations to go on through, and I'm not a big fan of game playing. I think it's too serious a sport. These guys put their lives on the line, and it feels to me when people start playing games, it feels like rich boy chess. It feels like, rich guys laughing and then, I'm gonna tell the media, we offered this. So watch what we do when watch what they do when we put this out there. Like, and I just don't like all that. I think it's too serious, and I have too much respect for the fighters to kind of give it that feel. So I'm really not a big fan of that type of negotiation. So I would just want to, behind closed doors, let's sit down, let's hammer it out, let's get a deal together that's real, and we'd be on board with it.
Hey, this was Ron again. So there has been like rumors and articles, people writing about additional emails, from Eddie Hearn's side, Barry Hearn, Anthony Joshua. Can we clear up any rumors? Have you guys gotten any additional offers? Anything else? Any reach out attempts? Because some people are saying that you guys are ignoring some of these random emails. I just want to make sure that we can clear up those are rumors or true.
No, I haven't heard anything about that, about there being, whether who's in touch with who and all that. I know Shelly has been on the front end. Shelly Finkel has been on the front end of dealing with a lot of that. And Shelly's an easy guy to reach. I mean, if Eddie doesn't have Shelly's phone number, all he's got to do is, contact me. My number's all over the internet. You guys found it easy enough. So all he would have to do is call me, and we'll get on a conference call. That's what I'm saying about going to the media and saying, this has been ignored or that's been ignored, or hey, pick up the phone and call. If you think you're being ignored, pick up the phone and call.